And we are live.
Hey, hello. Welcome, everybody.
Hello and welcome. Let's give everyone a chance to join. So as you're joining, you can write on chat that you can hear us, that you can see us, and you can let us know where you are connecting from. As you can see, we're in this beautiful studio. It's been a while since we've been here before.
True. I think last year we had a much more pace in the studio. This year, more flying and spending time on the airport. But yeah, we have to adjust.
Jesus, the last couple of weeks, it's been pretty crazy.
True.
Really busy. Lots of flying.
And running.
And running, yeah. We took part in a charity race in Bard.
That's true.
Bard is much faster than me, but I did try my best.
Yeah, that's because I have to run to chase my kid. It's not get drove over by the car, so the only reason why I have to run day by day. But anyway, it was fun. Yeah, and Amsterdam Companion event, that was great. We had a venue near to a stadium. I mean, that was actually 2 days before the King's Day. They had.
Yes, what a shame that we didn't stay for the King's Day.
That's true.
It's an incredible event. At least that's what we heard. But it was fun, and there's more to come, right? Dynamics Minds,
right? Summit NA,
the corner.
And you're going to the Madrid, yeah?
Yeah, there's an event organized by our partner, Archi Consult. That should be fun as well.
In Portugal, that's in October as well. I think there was one for BC and directions. Yeah, this one is crazy. I mean, last year we thought it would be intense one, but this is going through the imagination with amount of traveling. But yeah, it's super fun to meet you guys on site and exchange the thoughts, especially now when the revolution comes with licensing. It's just pure passion to share solutions and the way how we can deal with new requirements.
So if you're coming to any of the upcoming D365 events, let us know. Come connect with us. We love to chat on site. It's much better than doing this, but this is also fun.
That's true.
All right, I think we can try and get started now. So once again, hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk to you a little bit about our solution that is now part of the standard, user security governance. We're also going to touch on our advanced version of it. And together here with me is Bartosz Szpiech. Bart is the VP of products. He's responsible for all the great solutions that X Plus is shipping. He's by far my favorite person to do such things with, because he knows the answers to all the questions. So doing things with him is very easy.
True. We are both passionate about the products. Same to you, Matt. It's always a pleasure.
Oh, yes. And my name is Mateusz Łukowiec. I'm responsible for our partnership channel, where we work with the top D365 FSCM partners, and we help them solve some of the issues their clients are having with D365, and we help them solve them with our products, our ISV solutions. And today we're going to talk to you about USG, which is now part of the standard. So we'll touch upon what exactly USG is. We'll talk about why Microsoft decided to implement it in the standard. We'll go over the features of it, the implementation timeline, and then we'll jump into the advanced version of the solution. We'll explain all the key differences behind these, and then we're also going to touch on the licensing, the new licensing guides and evolution that's coming from Microsoft, key milestones around it. And then we're going to jump into a live demo. And at the end, if we have some time, we're going to jump into a Q&A session. So the chat is on right now. I can see already Dragons of Q connecting from Netherlands, Michael from Minnesota, USA. There's Rafa on the chat. So if you have any questions during the presentation, please write them on chat. And then at the end, in the Q&A section, we'll make sure to answer all of them. So that being said, let us jump into what exactly is user security governance. And to explain that, I think it's good to go back to the beginning. So more than 10 years ago, actually, this concept started. That was back in the AX 2009 days. We had a solution, Executive Automats, for automated testing that allowed us to, that was inside AX, and that allowed us to record business processes and then use those recordings to automate testing for regression or performance testing purposes. But that solution also allowed us to turn those recordings into business process documentation. And we very quickly saw there was also a need on the security side of things. So customers were complaining that their access is too wide or too small. And they were also complaining about licensing costs. So because of the way the solution worked, we thought, why not add a little bit more functionality and allow customers to use the same processes that they've recorded with the solution for the purpose of testing to extract entry points from them and create process-based security for the users. So that was the idea. We tried it out very well in AX 2009. In AX 2012, we copied the same idea to the solution. And for D365, when we first shipped the test automation tool, this wasn't part of the functionality, the security side of things. It took us, I believe, a couple of years, right? At the beginning of 2020 is when we first shipped the Executive Automat security setup. So a solution to allow customers to deliver process-based security very quickly. And over the years, we've done many projects helping clients deliver that. So we knew from the beginning what to focus on and where to make this solution really useful for the customers. So one of those projects, and Bart, you know a lot about it, a big project for Coca-Cola South Africa,
yep,
was when we first got introduced or started working with Microsoft. Do you remember how that started?
Yeah, I think we actually came across a big problem in the Dynamics industry, because each project which you do, you're gonna step upon something which will create a fire on Microsoft if there is a gap in Dynamics, and in CCBA the gap was significant because they were struggling with two factors. One, overpaid licenses, that they were unhappy with the amount they will pay yearly for licenses.
Mm-hmm.
On the top of that, they had second element, which is SOX compliance.
Right.
So the requirements for the SOX compliance were significantly big, and Dynamics out of the box was not fitting these gaps. And they were trying to find it out, what solution, how to kind of accommodate, which solution to accommodate, what to include in the standard to solve that from the foundation level. Because that was big. That is one of the biggest company. If you're gonna take a look on the Microsoft, there's all about CCBA. It's their star. They want to share with other clients. But we've actually seen this issue before. But it was smaller. It was something like a smaller client. They don't do such a big impact. But when the big player comes, they have to make the change.
Right, and Microsoft told us that if this solution works on such a big project, it will work everywhere.
Yeah.
And they also told us that they were looking for a solution like that to help customers be able to enhance their security architecture, to allow more efficient user management, and also to allow customers to do good licensing strategies, to not overpay for licenses, use the exact licenses that they need, nothing more, nothing else, and also to be more competitive in general on the ERP market, because other solutions allow much easier compliance with SOX or with other regulations. So the conversation with Microsoft started around that, and Bart, you are, I believe, pivotal in the whole transaction and in the whole topic. there. So what does USG include? What are the features of it? You can see them on the screen, but I think it's important to come back to those beginnings. So how does it work? So it's a simple tool. It's a module inside D365 where you can record your processes with the task recorder or with our test automation tool, Executive Automas, and you can take those recordings and extract entry points from them to create duties for the given process. So you record process A, B, and C, you extract the entry points from them, you create duty A, B, and C, and with these duties you create a role for a person that is doing process A, B, and C. So exact process-based security, nothing more, nothing less. So it simply allows you to deliver custom security roles projects much faster than with standard. And based on the projects that we've done, and we've done many, we've heard from customers and partners that this is something like 3 times or 4 times or even 5 times faster than with the standard. So in a gist, that's it. But of course, the solution also has some nice reporting capabilities. You've got segregation of duties and separation of privileges functionalities. You have privileged user management, so firefighting capabilities. Got a lot more. I think we can briefly focus on that during the demo. And I'll just move on to the implementation timeline. So the conversation started, I don't know when, but way back. I think the process took a while. Yeah, the conversation started in February. In August, we had a deal signed with Microsoft. The acquisition happened. And the solution has been in preview since January, so I believe 10.43, right?
Yeah.
And right then also a Viva Engage channel was created for the community. There was a lot of feedback coming from that, and we've also started working with Microsoft to help promote the solution. There are plenty of fast-track session webinars and other content available on the official Microsoft pages for USG. And very soon, since July, it's actually going to be generally available from 10.44?
Yeah,
or is it 10.45?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So really soon, everyone is going to have access to USG, to what used to be Executive Automat's security setup. And so that's about USG, the standard functionality, but we didn't sell everything to Microsoft. We kept some things for the advanced solutions, for the advanced solution, and we now call this EA for USG. And Bart, what is EA for USG? Can you tell us more about it?
That's a perfect question. That is something which takes this to another level. I think the best way you have to describe EA for USG is simply the first in class, first in Dynamics observability. Observability application which gives you very deep insight about your application, about your Dynamics FSCM. Maybe just one thing which came to my mind. If you would like to see the full demo of Executive Automats, for user security governance, there is one fast track recording which takes about, I think, 40 minutes, which we've done personally as well, where we go through the deep demo of user security governance, where you can actually see all features going back and forth with summaries, with some concept of Microsoft as well. So if you invite it,
it's a great video.
Yeah, and we can distribute the link after the session. And coming back to USG, because this is something which is answer for the need which is right now on the market. Right now, a lot of applications, a lot of Dynamics instances, they're gonna get pop-up. You have to apply your licenses. You have to make this link, and if you don't have that, then you need to the solution, and that's the cure. That's the solution for security role creation. Executive Automats for USG focuses on a few aspects. One is advanced security, which actually means that we are able to build the roles based on observations. We are able to build them within minutes, which actually means that you observe the system for a while and you extract entry points, you build the role tailored to the observations. You can actually alert about the system behavior. So if somebody will change credit limits, configuration in the finance, if somebody will change configuration from FIFO to LIFO, whatever you're going to name, set an alarm on it, you will get notification. So you are able to set surveillance cameras to see exactly everything what is happening on Dynamics. So actually you can actually think about this like you have full database logging without performance drop. That's how deep they can get. And we are aiming for a compliance need. We are aiming to satisfy the biggest, the most thorough needs of any auditor, kind of an auditor dream, how this can be built. That is actually USG, and we're going to talk about that a bit later. The deployment is always easy. That is SaaS solution. We want to have it very agile, flexible. It works kind of at the same way as Google Analytics does. So it's simply working without performance impact on the production systems, and we observe productions, UATs, pre-prod. You can actually do it everywhere. You define after the implementation the filters if you would like to observe specific groups of people, system areas. That is the capability. And from the first day of observations, you get the value. So the time to value is extremely low. It is super quick in that perspective, in other ways stating that. So the same day you install, you are able to satisfy the auditing needs from the database logging. And everybody knows that database logging in the current world, they are expensive. After the first week, you have the first insights of building the roles. And this is the moment where you can actually take the last week observations and convert them to the actual role. And then every week, every month is just intensively creating the database. And the data about your system is gold. In the AI era, all about the new way of gathering data is something you have to invest because it will be massive value in upcoming years. So to summarize, what you can get, you are able to have great observations about the user operations. You are able to have audit logs turned off and switch them to the executive automats for USG. You have emergency access with higher scope, with a PDF file which summarizes the session with deep insights of what system are doing. And then you can navigate to the alerting SOD. We are actually thinking about the first in Dynamics capability of doing segregation of entry points, which is a mind-blowing element, and that will be the key in capabilities of USG, but that's in the future.
Let us know what you think about that in the comments.
That's true. User security governance actually creates for you and revolution. It actually, when we thought about executive automats, security setup, and the transaction with Microsoft, we didn't know the whole vision of what is behind. And Microsoft actually revealed the cards right now where it goes. By April 30, the PPAC has the capability of applying licenses against users. And that's the moment where you can start the exercise. It already started. Then actually on 15th of May, which happened a few days ago, you can actually let us on chat know who received pop-ups on production system that you don't have alignment licenses versus users. It is very interesting because on the 15th of May, we've been working with some Seattle customers and nobody's seen this then, but it's interesting if somebody's right now seeing those communication from Microsoft that you don't have the appliance of the licenses. On the QR code on the site, there is a link straight to article which describes the new changes. So feel free to scan it, to go to it, to get more details. But if you think about that from the longer time span, you will see that 15th of May, there's a first visibility when you have incompliant allocation. August 30, that's the moment where everything will be turned off if you don't have a license applied to the account. What does it mean? If you have 10 users which are not having allocated license on their production system, by August 30, the next day, they will be not able to log in into the system unless you're going to do license allocation. Sometimes somebody can take and tell this is cruel, but this is how Microsoft set the milestones, set the expectations. We have to adjust. We have to do the project. It is pretty new.
You have plenty of time to deliver custom security roles.
Yeah, I think, Matt, you had very good experience working with partners, and there were just few partners focused on this security area specifically. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I was actually talking to a customer yesterday, and I told them that right now, currently, we are by far the most experienced partner when it comes to custom security roles projects with user security governance, or what used to be EA security setup. And there are 2 other partners in the whole world who have delivered projects with the solution, with our support, of course.
Yeah.
So if you need help with the projects, we're more than happy to help you there.
Sure. It's still a few months for the deadline, but as we've been showing on the user security governance advanced, the other solution, the advanced solution that we've built on the top, you are able to do it very efficiently, quickly, just by observation. So we do all the configuration in the background. We'll do a demo of that to give you a sneak peek, to give you a feeling how it works. But either way, from 1044, it will be available generally. Already on 1043, you can use USG to set up your licensing, to build your hierarchy. You can watch naturally the user security governance demo from Fast Track, where you can see how to build the basic hierarchy of the organization and the roles and the duties underneath. But we had a pace, I think, and that was not just us as the people designing the tool. We've been creating sometimes 2-3 roles per day, but we have the pace of 1, I think, 1 per day. That was the statistical on partners. Do you remember that?
And that would be a very small role. I would say 1 role per week, if we're talking about major key user complex ones.
True.
But small roles, once you have a complex major key user role, and then you're just creating sub roles from it, then of course 1 day per role is fully doable.
Yeah, I remember one project we did in Dublin on site. We've been meeting with customer, and just for 2 weeks staying in the office after hours, 2 days, 2 roles per 1 day was achievable, just because they had clear documentation, clear description of the processes, and they were accommodated underneath the role. So that was kind of a very continuous.
Creating 1 role, of course, is doable in 1 day, but testing it, etc., doing iterations, that's not possible.
And availability of the business users, that's the worst nightmare you can imagine.
Just the sheer, recording processes, creating duties, creating role from it, of course, is doable, even for a complex one.
That's true.
In a 1 day.
So all about that. If you think from our recommendation, if you were right now in the place where you need to set up your licenses against the environment, it is good to ask your partner. If you're an end customer, it is good to ask your partner to turn on user security governance, because that is a feature that you have to turn on. Then make an exercise to define your hierarchy of organization. So what positions you have in the system, then define the processes, convert them to duty. You can use either task recoding, or if you are a user of executive automations for testing, then you can supplement, or you can use those test automations, those processes defined as a source for entry points, and that's great combination and synergy. And when you're going to have ready role, you distribute that to production, or we always recommend to have like a one-stop on UAT or dev environment, where you can just validate the roles and then move it to prod when they are validated.
Yeah, and what is great, if you do all this work, it actually isn't that much additional work to create also test automation from that.
Great point,
exercise, and also business process documentation. So if you do this project smart, you can actually kill multiple birds with one stone. So you can do business process documentation, you can do automated tests, and you can do also custom security roles, process-based security for your users.
That's right. We had yesterday a session, a pretty long one, with German partner. They were talking about specifically about their methodology of testing, and we had that conversation that within the UATs, it is good to have your security access right designed, because within the UATs, if you're going to test your environment with exact way how you're going to see the system after go live, it will be great because you can learn the system quicker. The learning curve has significant impact because the system is cleaner. You don't have buttons which are incomplete, functionalities which are not designed for you. We've seen a lot of troubles on the go lives where customer were using some journals which are inactive, journals which are corrupted, so bugs. And we can actually tell that implementation is like you were a chef in the 5-star restaurant. You have a plate with a dish, and you have just one chance to surprise these guests with a high quality of implementation. That's why in Express we do. We want to give the high quality. But if the first dish is not great as it could be,
then that's not an ideal scenario.
They will not come back to us anymore. So it is good to make sure that
wow the customer.
Yeah, the business user needs a high quality treatment to make sure that this will be, this is going to be a nice journey for them. It's
fully agree. For them. Yeah. And by the way, on chat we can see Dries actually. There's a comment from Andy and confirmation from Dries that last Friday Microsoft updated the deadlines. It seems like they've been pushed the notifications to September 1st and license assignment to November 1st. So you have a little bit more time, which is great.
Pretty good. Yep. Thank you much for sharing that.
Thanks, Dries, for confirming.
And that is 3 months more. It's still, security is a massive project for a lot of organizations, but this will give you a reasonable time for the transition. Let's do fun now with
let's jump into the demo.
To our product.
Look forward to it.
So, executive automates for user security governance. So right now I'm browsing through our SaaS solution hosted on our Contoso machine. So we do here some back and forth testing. The application itself is observing our Contoso and our consultants, which are configuring and testing some back and forth processes. Throughout the observations, the capability is that I can browse through last users which are active. So if I'm joining into the system as an auditor and it's 3 a.m., I don't know why I woke up so early, but you can just go and see, we have multiple users active in not their time zone, or in soon future we'll be able to also to tell that they have different IP addresses. So the observation can be very deep. But it is interesting that you are able to see the last triggered alert. So if you're going to set an alert on changing of the credit limit, you will see that here. So somebody on the 27th of February modified that, and I'm able to go and understand what exactly they were doing. You are also able to see last used entry points. So you have a great understanding of the behaviors, the great understanding of what the environment, how active it is. So there is a specific cockpit for auditing, and naturally I can go towards a user session to see specific sales order ID. If something about specific SOID happened in the past, I'm able to extract and actually see on particles, on those smaller particles of the process, how this specific process or this fraud happened. So you have an element of fraud detection. If there was a sales order with significantly low margin, it was actually sold for one pence, you were able to find it out, who was involved, who was doing that, to outline this process and make sure that this will never happen in the future, or find out the same patterns if that is something which is repetitive. Some organizations, if they are struggling with repetitive process, which is somebody is stealing from the organization, you can find patterns, and that is great because that's one of the unique ways how to do it. I was talking about the capability of extracting the entry points, and we have a report here which gives me the possibility to find out all entry points used by the user from the 2nd of March. I can go beyond. I can take last 6 months, like last month, last week. I can take the time frame. I can select the specific user, and I can see what entry points were used. This one is actually empty, so I'll take the April from the 1st up to the 30th, and it will take a second to the system, and I can see now that this specific account was utilizing 21 entry points throughout the month. So I can extract this to the CSV, and that file can be a import into the user security governance. So I can go to our latest 1043 update, and that environment, let's go to our module, our former executive automate security setup, now USG. So we can go into the security process roles maintain. I can go and build here in the hierarchy webinar category. And right here, we can import from file in the standard. So everybody can do it right now in the in Dynamics. They can load entry points by the CSV file. So load entry points, and I have now 21 entry points loaded from file straight into Dynamics with accurate CRUD, which means accurate create, read, update level of access.
So what you've just done is you created a CSV file with all the entry points from all the processes, everything, all the clicks that this specific user was doing in the system in April, correct?
Exactly. So we can imagine that we go to production environment, we observe it, and you're going to say, hey, my 50 users with different positions, they don't have license applied. And I have no clue what access rights should be there, what license actually should be applied to the user. So I can extract from the last month operations done by Katie or John. And for Katie, I can create a role based on this file. 21 entry points. Based on John, we can take a longer session and then the same, build the role. And that could be an operation for building a row when you don't have it, or trimming down the row when you're going to say they have too much, or auditor will say they have too much. They are going through the roof with SOD rules. So there are a lot of capabilities and use cases where you can utilize that specific value.
So with that, you can actually create those roles, I don't know, again, 5 times faster than with user security governance alone, right?
Even more. I mean, the only thing we have to remember is that you have to observe the system for a while. So it will take you a few weeks to get the data, but then the creation, it's minutes.
And you may not pick up, I guess, everything.
Yes.
If somebody does some process only once every quarter or something,
like month closing, some those elements, you will need to adjust them. But these are some corner cases. For majority, you can do it just like that. And this is just the first step on the timeline. So the value, the reason to buy is great, because if you are compliant, if you have some compliancy rule needs like stock markets and so forth, you probably have too much of database logging, and out of that you have a lot of cost and performance drop. So you solve that out of the box just by installing it. Then you move around and you go compliance, alerting, compliance, additional level of SOD, building security access rights, and then you expand towards our application for optimizing processes and going wild with
you
the data.
get all the benefits of database logging with that database logging, plus much more.
True. And All of that just because we wanted to make Dynamics better than SAP, because in SAP there are observability applications, and Dynamics didn't have until now.
That's awesome. I love it.
Thank you so much. I think that will be a sneak peek of a demo. If you would like to see more, you would like to browse, you would like to see a POC, you would like to see on your case how to deal with it, let us know. If you would like to learn about USG, either go to Fast Track session we've been co-hosting with a wonderful team of Fast Track Microsoft, or just let us know. We have a lot of sessions to combine to teach partners, customers how to deal with user security governance, how to combine that with testing, with performance optimization. And this is just because that's a pure passion from our side.
Yeah, tell us what you'd like to see. We can take you there. You have some time still. Let me see on the chat. There were some questions earlier. Yep. From Keston Dynamics, will USG be able to load recorded tasks from the EA script or only in Task Recorder?
So USG will load from out of the box standard. You will have just task recording, but executive automate scripts will come in a few weeks from now on. So in the soon future, you'll be able to have in standard connector to executive automates. Every customer of executive automates will have this capability. We'll just need to ship it pretty soon.
Yeah, it's coming for sure. Many customers asked us about this, and of course we want to help our customers. Okay, we have another one from Dragons of Q. This looks amazing and will perfectly work in standard. How about customizations?
The same thing. So we are when we've been designing this tool back in days, we tried to extract every entry point from the process. Naturally, we've accomplished in practice 90%. We didn't go to the classes and methods, but the Dynamics is designed in the specific way, and the customizations are simply normally done with the same best practices as standard. So it doesn't matter if this is ISV module, if this is your customization, there is always entry point behind. It is always the same architecture behind in most cases, unless there is some specific iframe or ISV which uses some different APIs, different connectors. But in majority of cases, it doesn't matter if you're gonna work on pure standard of the system or you're gonna work on heavily customized Dynamics. You'll be able to record task recordings or test automation with EA and convert that to Duty, convert that to then raw. So yeah.
Thanks for that question, Dragons of Q. I don't see any more. If you have any questions, please post them. There were questions around the timing for the warnings of users and when the license assignments are coming, but Dries helped us clarify that, so thanks for that.
I just sent on the chat the link to the YouTube with Fast Track session for you guys. So feel free to jump in there and browse through the Microsoft Dynamics 365 community channel, where four of us, we are just walking through for the entire application. And again, if you're going to have on the top of that some questions, we'll be more than happy to help. And there is one interesting finding out of the process that Microsoft actually liked so much the reporting tool, the licensing report, which was in our application, that they took it out from the USG, and they are right now modifying this to extend. So what I know, that definitely there will be something more on the licensing come in the future. These are not just these changes. Everybody knows that the Dynamics licensing changes every month, so the licensing guide. But yeah, there is more to come. But in positive way. I think finally we're going to have streamlined the way how you build the roles, how they are transparent from the basic attachments, because it was hectic. So now it should be just much better.
Yeah, and it will simply be just much easier to deliver custom security roles projects for all customers.
That's right.
And again, our recommendation would be to take a little wider view on that project and not only do security, but use that time to also do business process documentation and most importantly, test automation, because that's a super common issue that we see customers are facing. And if you have to redo your security, why not just spend a little more time on the project and do also test automation and business process documentation? One question that comes to my mind, and I've been asked that quite a few times by partners, is what's the future for USG? Because we've solved the solution now. We're helping now Microsoft ship it to the standard. Do we know anything about what Microsoft plans to do in the near future with the solution?
So as far as I know, they are very happy with what the USG comes with. Like I think they are even happier than they thought they will be.
That's what you have to do. Wow, the customer, right? Wow, the partner.
Yeah, so that is pretty fun. As far as I know, there won't be extension yet until there will be a major claim from the enterprise level customer, or there will be some blocker. USG will definitely have some new features for licensing to streamline it. On the community, thank you so much. I think there was 150 people, 150 consultants, developers, people from customer and partner sites engaging on the Viva Engage channel during the transition, during the preview testing cycle. And out of that, we had a lot of questions, a lot of issues. Naturally, we've been firefighting and helping Microsoft solve the bugs. But there was no like a major finding which changed totally the way how USG worked. So far, so good. And as far as I know, there was just one big project on licensing ongoing, but we don't have so much details because it is behind the scenes on the product team working in Seattle.
Right. So now it's more on the Microsoft side of things, what they decide to do with the future of it. And they're obviously listening to customers, to partners.
Sure.
So if you have suggestions, once you start using it, feel free to let Microsoft know and use that, I guess, Viva Engage channel, right?
Yeah, this might be pretty hard to get, but you can send some feedback to our site, to our email or here, or for partners, because we are able to, we know people exactly who are working on the project. As far as I know, they don't want to be like, hyper visible. I mean, on the fast track session, they are sharing some places where you can drop messages as well. But yeah, right now, definitely, we are getting to the final place with the user security governance on the general availability, and then we'll see how the market will go. 1044, 1045. Some people are they are jumping through the versions, so 1045 will probably be the place where most of the global customers will be finally using USG.
All right. Looks like there are no more questions, so I think we'll be wrapping up here. One maybe important thing to mention: we are working on a training for USG for partners that should be available. I don't know. I guess in the by the end of Q2 or more like Q3.
Make a note. We'll wait until the date and see if Matt went through.
Yeah. You can post on chat when do you think that's going to be released. But it will be great. It will certainly help our partners get a feel for how to deliver these projects. We've got our own methodology, tried and tested on many projects, so should be super useful. If you're interested in the advanced version of the solution, you saw a little sneak peek earlier. let us know. You can reach out to us directly. You can visit our website, executiveautomats.com, for that solution or for any other solutions that we have. You can also follow us on LinkedIn and on YouTube if you're watching it there. Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.
Bye, everybody.